Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's out there pushing this truth in our honesty and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Shalom. This is Brother Yaramla coming at you with a quick video through the spirit, power, and mercy of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this be edifying. All right, and I want to speak on a dream I had last night or this morning very well. All right, about, this destruction that's coming not only to America. I don't know where I was in the dream. I just know I was in a certain city. All right, which, it could have happened wherever, man, in the Middle East somewhere. I felt like it was myself, but also I just feel like I was just in the midst of something. All right, could have been America, could have been somewhere in a Middle East, whatever, as they call it. All right. But, it was a vision or a dream of war, pretty much, So Joel 2 heavily described what's about to go down, but I say it's like, a certain area. All right. Because when nukes that hit, or it's like some kind of phosphorus missiles, or certain missiles that basically just spout out fire or whatever the case may be. All right, so this is Joel chapter 2 verse 28, and it says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions." All right, so, I'm not really old, but, I'm getting up there. I'll be a unk, as they say. But, hey, man, but the Lord is pouring his spirit out upon the earth. Different people is having visions and dreams of the coming destruction. All right, but in the dream, I was like in an apartment or something like that, just chilling. All right, and all of a sudden, just feel like it was an earthquake, going on. Just feel like, everything was rattling. It lasted for about like 30 to 40 seconds, which, feel like a long time for an earthquake. All right. But, yeah, so as that was going on, I ain't think nothing of it. All right. So I just started to think like, what caused that earthquake? Like, what was that? And, it felt like nighttime in the room because, the blinds was closed and everything. All right. But as soon as I opened the curtain, all right, that's when I saw all the destruction in the city. All right. It was like, it was a ghost town, it's like, you see, all right, some of them places in the Middle East or whatever, or Iraq or Iran or somewhere like they've been hit by certain type of airstrikes and things. All right, you just see debris. All right, buildings look decayed and destroyed. So when I looked out the window, I saw that. I saw buildings destroyed. All right, it looked ashy. It looked like damn. All right, seeing ash falling from the sky. All right, just how like something got destroyed or blown up. Ash is falling from the sky. Because one instance down here when I saw ashes falling from the sky is because it was a wildfire. All right, somewhere in North Carolina, and it was like the smoke was spreading down here. The fire was spreading. You could see the smoke in the sky and see ashes falling down. All right, and then I saw some buildings had some fire, a little fire on it. It was like phosphorus, like it was burning, like it won't completely on fire. And then when I opened the door, all right, the building that we was in, the roof was kind of burnt in the outside in the hall. All right, the building looked like how the outside buildings look, just ashy, decayed, had ash everywhere. It looked decayed and damaged. All right, but inside the room, you would think nothing happened. It's as if the room I was in was protected, but everything else was just destroyed. And then we tried to hurry up, put our shoes on the things, get ourselves together to get out of there. Because once you in an area that's getting striked on, you want to get up out of there because you're like, man, it's more coming. Or, it's just like, you can't stay in the strike zone because, damn, you can get hit again. All right. So the times we coming into, all right, is great. It's terrible. All right. Great tribulation, man. It's coming. All right. That's why I say I don't know if I was over here in America or, somewhere else, just in a certain region, seeing what was going down, or just to see, all right, the chaos and the panic that being in strike zones will cause. All right. But it was a terrifying experience nonetheless, man. So, hey, man, you can imagine what they're going through in them certain areas that's getting striked and bombed and destroyed. All right. So, further down, it says, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. So the Lord already showed us some wonders in the heavens. All right. In the earth, the moon turning red, turning to blood. All right. Showing us, there was a indicator that prophecy is about to pursue, enter another state of prophecy. All right. So the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. All right. So we already seen the moon turning into blood, or blood moons and different things. All right. Eclipses, the sun turning into darkness, man. So we know that the great terrible day of the Lord is here, man. This war that's coming or already enacting upon, between America, Israel against Iran, and it's going to soon gradually bring other nations into it as well. All right, you read Ezekiel 38, with Russia coming to be a guard unto them. All right, it's going to elevate prophecy to that next level to usher in the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, the MOT to the B, and the destruction by the thermonuclear missiles, man. All right. So it says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. From in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Salakia. So the remnant, who call on the name is going to be delivered, going to be saved in these last days. All right, because there's no way to prepare for the destruction. Like, if you're getting striked and bombed on, you have no defense, man. There's nothing you can do, man. You don't know where the strike's coming from. You can try to flee the strike zone, but you could be walking further into other strike zones. Like, you never know. All you gonna feel is like, oh, I gotta get up out of here, man. But it's nowhere to go. It's like, they got the ups on you. It's like, you feel like a roach, and you about to get stumped on. But you can try to find the nearest place for salvation, for safety. All right, but you don't know if you're gonna get away. You could walk into a corner and get furthermore stumped on. Or you have no defense, man. All right. But yeah, this whole chapter will put you in the idea of what's about to come, or the missiles. All right, it says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound the alarm in my holy mountain. that all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness, a day of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape them. All right, so when that when missiles hit, man, it's gonna burn everything. That's why I say that was just a normal strike, because everything wasn't blown to blitz to smithereens. It won't blown to bits. Or you still see the infrastructure of buildings. So it's like a simple, all right, or a strike, all right, but it could have been worse. All right, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and the horsemen shall run, as horsemen, so shall they run. Or describing the missiles, all right, with ICBM is gonna be way worse. Or the experience that I felt in the dream, man, hey, when them ICBMs hit, it's gonna be way worse, because you ain't gonna have a chance to just look out and, you just sitting in the strike zone, you going about your day, ain't thinking nothing going on, feeling earthquakes, look out, everything destroyed, man. You gonna know, because that fire, that destruction gonna creep up where you at. All right, whether it's gonna blow through the window, knock the whole building down, whatever the case may be, you gonna not be able to live to tell the story after them ICBMs hit. All right, so like the noise of chariots on tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. A strong people set in battle array. All right. So they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. All right, so these missiles going to hit where they intended to hit. All right. And also when the fire come, man, it's going to be burning everything behind you or in front of you, whatever case, where you at. Point of the strike zone you at, whatever. All right, it's going to be no escaping it, man. It says, neither shall one thrust any other. They shall walk every one in his path. All right, so they all going to hit, man. They going to be one hitting one in the sky, knocking them off course. All right. Every one of them going to hit. Mainly here in Babylon, America, it's going to be the main place that's going to get hit by a bunch of nukes. All right, when they fall upon a sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run up the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So they're going to enter in the windows. So like I said in the dream, it just so happened to where I was at, was protected. All right, the destruction didn't come through the window, or, basically climbed up, the walls and everything outside the room. But inside the room, like, you couldn't even tell what's going on. Or it didn't come through the windows. All right, look fine. All right, it says the earth shall quake before them. So the earth was quaking. The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So there's so much ash in the sky. All right, that you couldn't even see what was in the sky. You couldn't even tell, you could tell it was daytime because it was light outside. But other than that, you couldn't see nothing, man. Straight ash in the sky, man. Straight smoke. But it says it's going to be fire and brimstone, man. That's all you're going to see, fire and brimstone, man. All right. And also, it was a dream within a dream, because before all that went down, the earthquake and all that, I had a dream inside a dream. Basically, it was in, it was the aftermath, because we tried to leave. We was in the car, but the smoke was so heavy. All right, that, because it was all in POV. So it was like my breathing was getting faint and my eyes was getting heavy. It's like I was about to pass out from all the smoke. All right. So, hey, man, it ain't nothing to play with. All right. So this verse 11 said, and the Lord shall utter with his Salakia, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong to execute of his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? All right, who can survive it, man? If you're not part of the elect, man, there's no way to survive what's about to go down, man. All right, a lot of people gonna die in the battle, in this war that's coming, man. You know, certain areas gonna get struck. You know, America gonna get touched. Their whole region over there gonna be leveled. All right. So we're gonna be able to survive this great and terrible day that's coming, man. So yeah, so that's the video. All right, you know, hey man, that dream was I waking, basically let you know, that hey man, if you experience that, you know, it's a level of hopelessness, all right, that's never been seen. So just imagine these people in the world when certain cities get struck, or when the missiles come, or if you over there in lands, you stuck in lands, and you get bombed on. Hey, it's nothing you can do. So imagine what they've been experiencing over there in the Middle East. You know, these regions, they getting airstriked on and all that. Like regular people don't have nothing to do with the war. They getting struck on. Or they like, what the hell? You know, their whole life has just changed. They survived. You know, they lost family. All right. You know, there are ultimately a lot of people lost their lives. All right. So, hey, man, you know, it's kind of messed up. But, hey, man, this the day of judgment, the great day that the Lord been telling us about in these scriptures, man. All right. So everybody's life is going to change as we know it. All right. But we know that this got to go down before the transference of power for the elect to rule. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. And with that being said, you know, and also I hope this is exhorting, you know, because, you know, even in the midst of this destruction, the Lord is still going to preserve the elect, Lord willing, if I be of that fold. So, hey, man, you know, we in great times, man. All right. So with that being said, Shalom.